Hey xgymmers. So you might have seen my post about how the coronavirus can be fattening, and if not, and you'd rather hear it, then I'm going to read it, and I'm also going to make this into a podcast because I want people to be able to read it if they want, to watch this video if they want, to listen to it on a podcast if they want, because this is really important, and especially how this can be really fattening. And specifically in the case of quarantine or just self-quarantine, or maybe you lost your job or your work closed temporarily and you're at home. So I'm just going to be reading this off our website. So you can go to this page, how the coronavirus can be fattening and what to do about it. So the coronavirus is creating quite the disruption, to say the least. The side effect people aren't aware of yet is the fattening effect of this whole situation. No one is even really talking about it, but I'm seeing it already. In fact, one of my xgym members already commented that he hasn't changed anything in his diet or his exercise, yet he's gained 4 pounds of fat in the last 3 weeks since the virus news got more intense. He knew why, and so did I. So now I'm going to talk about how this can happen and what you can do about it, especially now that the Washington state governor and a lot of other governors have basically ordered most people to stay at home. Right now it's a strong recommendation, but I think we're leaning towards the order that you have to stay at home, aka quarantine. So there's 7 main reasons why all this is so fattening when we're quarantined. Number 1, stress and cortisol. Number 2, emotional eating. 3, comfort cocooning. 4, routine disruption. 5, habit derailment. 6, sleep quality. And 7, screen time. Start with number 1, stress and cortisol. This is a stressful time. No one is exempt from it. And those who think they are, well, they're in denial and probably suppressing it, which makes the negative effects even worse. It's okay to feel stressed, but it's all about how you handle it. There are also easy ways to mitigate it, reduce it, and even transform it. You see, when we're stressed, our fight or flight mechanism is turned on, which produces cortisol in our bodies. It's fine for a short period of time because it helps us run away from danger, but for the long haul, more than 30 minutes, it's fattening. Cortisol is arguably the most fattening chemical in the body, so managing stress and getting this chemical down is vital to preventing fat gain. So what to do? Well, here's the express solution for this problem. Tap for stress. This is the tapping technique that I teach lots of people at the xgym for cravings, but also for emotional eating and other emotional issues, because it's the quickest way to change your state. And when it works, it's permanent. It doesn't work for everybody, but most people it does. And so if you go to I made a short link for this, bit.ly/xgymtap. It's all one word, no spaces, all lowercase. And that video will explain how to do this. Another solution for stress and cortisol is to do some exercise. At least 2 minutes of some form of exercise. And that's ranging from just getting outside and walking or standing up and down from a chair really fast. Whatever it takes to get your breathing rate up and your heart rate up, if you're cleared, of course, for exercise. You don't have any conditions that would limit you in any way. Because in my opinion, exercise is the number 1 way to reduce stress and burn off cortisol. Number 2, emotional eating. We all do it, even me. In fact, I was just chomping on some fitness chocolate. Let me go grab that so you can see it. So I already ate more than half the bar. That's a big bar. This is bigger than you would get in a store somewhere. And I actually almost ran out of fitness chocolate because I've been so busy just making videos and posts and things to help people through this coronavirus thing. And so I hate this one, but I had to break into my emergency supply. I'll probably have time to make some later tonight. But it's my Christmas supply. Merry Christmas! Can you see it? Can you see it? Merry Christmas, cheer, joy. That's a great thing to remember and think about right now. If you want to make fitness chocolate yourself at home, just go to xgym.com, go to the top of the page, click on the word recipes, and it'll take you right to the recipe site. And fitness chocolate is the future recipe. With little handy Amazon links to order everything And so it's all the ingredients are delivered to your home. Don't try to find them at stores because it's not going to be the exact ingredients for this, and it won't taste the same as the recipe I've perfected. Plus, it's easier in Amazon, and if you're quarantined, you shouldn't be going to the store anyway. Only for essential items, and although arguably fitness chocolate would be essential in a quarantine. But okay, back to emotional eating. When I do it, I'm eating more because I'm getting pleasure out of it. So I will eat more fitness chocolate, but it's all healthy food. What other people do when they emotionally eat is go for the carby stuff, the comfort food. And that usually contains sugar, starch, and other fast carbs and ingredients combined with fat, which is the worst combination in the world, because then you're bumping up your insulin, which is arguably the second most fat storing hormone and chemical. Some people say, no, it's cortisol. Other people say, no, it's insulin, but they're both really bad. And so if you've got high levels of cortisol and then you eat a bunch of sugar or starch and then you bump up your insulin, oh man, you're just storing fat like crazy. So I'm here to help you stop that. And half of it is just knowing, it's just the knowledge of what's going on. The other half is knowing how to stop it, and that's what we're going to talk more about. The reason that people go for comfort food and sugar and starchy things is because they're medicating their brain temporarily out of a stressful state. Their subconscious brain knows that's going to make them feel better in the short term, and so it says, hey, let's go have some stuff. And then the conscious brain, the PFC, prefrontal cortex, says, no, that's the parent brain. Oh, no. And the subconscious is the toddler brain. So the parent and the toddler starts getting in a fight. Toddler always wins. And especially if you're really stressed, because then the parent brain is offline because it's tired from all that stress. And so toddler comes forward and says, hey, yeah. And then you go eat those sugar and starchy foods, and then it works temporarily for 10 to 20 minutes. And you feel better. And the toddler, then it's reinforced in the toddler. So it says, see, told ya. And then it's more deeply reinforced. And then the parent brain's like, oh, toddler won again. So the solution, use my hunger scale brain training technique. So click the link here below in the description, and that'll really help with this. EFT actually helps with it too, to get you out of the emotional eating state. The previous technique I talked about, the tapping technique. And then next, do at least 2 minutes of some form of exercise. It just so happens that some of the exercises on the xgym app are 2 to 3 minutes. So that would be perfect, but I'm not trying to push that. I'm just saying it's there for you to look into. And that page is xgym.com/app. Okay, number 3, comfort cocooning. This is when we retreat into our most comfortable state, usually involving cozy jammies, the couch, the TV, some hot chocolate with marshmallows, and well, you get the picture. We've all done this too. When we do, we feel safe and secure with our familiar triggers of comfort, but it's not fixing anything. It's just making us feel better in the moment and usually making us fatter. Normally, we're walking around at work, having meetings, going places, doing things, making decisions, learning new things, and concentrating on our tasks at hand. All of this burns calories, and it's a big part of our metabolism. It's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. When we're comfort cocooning, though, most of that goes out the window as we settle in on the couch and get comfortable and try to make ourselves feel better by getting cozy and eating comfort food. Express solution? First, recognize what's going on and you're doing it. Then, ask yourself if it's really necessary. Then, ask yourself out loud if it's going to solve anything. Then, ask yourself out loud if there's something you can do to solve it. Then if there is, do that. If there's not, ask if there's anything you can do to reduce stress. See the previous points. Or get a little bit of exercise. Yes, even 2 minutes is worth it. Then stand up. Stay standing as long as you can and off that comfy couch as much as you can. Just switching from sitting to standing can boost your metabolism 15% or more. Find something to concentrate on or learn something new to keep your brain occupied, because the brain can burn up to 20% of your daily calories if it's working hard. And here's the worst thing to do when you're comfort cocooning is to watch TV, because that depresses your metabolism even lower than sleeping levels. And you're probably watching drama or the fake news or something else that's designed to get you all worked up and panicky. and that raises cortisol levels even more. Okay, here's number 4, routine disruption. Your routine is turned on its head with this quarantine stuff, so normal things kind of go out the window. This is why people are so good during the week and then fall apart with their healthy choices on the weekend, even when there's not any crisis going on. Express solution. Knowing this is half the battle. The rest is choosing healthy things, like doing at least 2 minutes of some form of exercise. And this is a great segue into number 5, habit derailment. So as I stated, things tend to go out the window, including habits, because they're often part of your routine. The solution? As you study your habits and learn what triggers them, write all that down when you notice the disruption. Habits and triggers. Trigger could be time, could be a person, could be an emotion, could be something you see, could be something you hear. And if you're quarantined at home, you may have to temporarily find new triggers. But when you do, write those down too. Then retool and readjust. And then do at least some form of exercise. And speaking of this, habit stuff is so huge. I'm actually designing a habit course right now that will be available soon. So stay tuned for that. Number 6, sleep quality. This is vital because lots of studies show that lack of sleep or poor sleep quality is fattening for the same cortisol reasons above, but also from a food and carb craving standpoint, because lack of sleep and poor sleep quality does make you crave more carbs and comfort foods. Express solution: go to bed early and do the things you know work for you. Everyone's different and everyone has their own hacks for their sleep. Do them, because allowing your routines to mess that up will be really fattening. You know how many hours you need too, so make sure that happens as well. But don't do at least 2 minutes of exercise too close to bed in this case, because that'll probably keep you up. Last one, 7, screen time. TV is fattening. Seriously, it's a killer of your metabolism, and screens at night within 2 hours of bedtime especially will screw up your sleep. Express solution: minimize TV. And if you have to watch, don't eat anything while watching. In fact, do the opposite. Exercise while watching. It doesn't have to be intense the whole time. Even something light will count and will save your metabolism from tanking. Then cut yourself off 2 hours before bedtime, if at all possible, and if not, get some blue blocker glasses to wear, because it's mostly the blue light that messes up your sleep. So you probably noticed I recommended exercise a lot here, yeah? That's because it's a keystone habit which supports all other healthy habits best of any habit. When you're exercising regularly, even just 2 minutes, you're activating your prefrontal cortex in a way that makes other healthy habits easier to do. Obviously, a full workout is best and most effective, but even 2 minutes can be enough to break your pattern and get you back on track. Any exercise will be great, but if you'd like to explore the xgym exercise options, we have the club option, online training option, and our exercise app. All links down below. We also have a free workouts page for you, so you can be working out at home during this time, and that'll also show you how we're different if you're not familiar with our style, to see if it would be a fit for you. So at least go to that free workouts page. Now go get your exercise.